don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that anytime we upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you.
As I bring before you Chief Nataniel, Ben Levi, Ben Yisrael, Baruch Haba.
Baruch haba. Listen.
First of all, giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to the God of glory, the God of our forefathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Shiva. Also like to give due respect to even the council here at D.C.B. and all Israel, even my brothers and sisters on the internet, and all Israels that are serving the Most High God in righteousness and truth. Wow. There's a lot of things to be said in this day and time because we're moving in a whole different degree of stupidity amongst my people and the world itself, because we do know if Jacob ain't got it together, the rest of the world is doomed. If we ain't got it, forget about the rest of it. I can tell you this, though. You know, when you're dead, you don't know nothing. You don't feel nothing. You dead. The only people that feel the pain and the suffering is the ones that love you. The same things happen when you're stupid. Gotta let that sink in for a minute. Let it sink in, like seasoning. But as we can see, the way of common sense have seemed to have left the earth. Common sense it's not that common, you know. Common sense ain't a flower that grows in everybody's garden. Common sense is like deodorant. The people that need it most never use it. Common sense is so rare today that it should be considered a superpower. Because it's rough out here, y'all. You know, and our lives is solely dependent, our future, our lives, our existence, solely dependent on our God. If you don't know by now that that's all we got, if one thing the pandemic should have shown us is that we have no other power to look upon.
That's right.
In this world. We have no other power that we can look upon in this world.
That's right, Chief.
But you would think of people as with this type of greatness would do better. But in my mind, I see it as this. It's kind of hard to understand. I said, why is so much of this? Why is there so much of that? Why is there so much of this? All these different forces and elements coming up in the world today. You know, like adultery, running rampant. Homosexuality, running rampant. Yes. Murder, running rampant. All the evilness of the world is running berserk out here. And then I realized what it is. I said, the Father, this is my disclaimer. The Father done let loose these spirits because God said, you don't want to worship me. You don't want to glorify me. I'm going to give you what you want.
There you go.
I'm going to give it to you in abundance. And that's what we have out here. Let me tell you something. You would wonder, a people like us, how we actually even exist in this day and time where we've been bludgeoned both physically and spiritually as a nation for hundreds and hundreds of years, and yet we still seem to dominate anything that they put to us. Whatever it is, we seem to dominate that. You gotta, why is that? How is another people actually able to survive concerning everything that we've been through? Because they don't give you a level playing field. Because if they gave us a level playing field, it'd be game over.
From the rip.
It'd be game over. That's why they don't teach you nothing about yourself, black history in the schools. They teach you all about them. Because if they start to teach little black boys and little black girls about their history, there'll be nothing left for them. So they took they don't even report this. You got to really do some real research to find this out. Find this out about a DNA strand, a DNA series. Some of y'all might know about that. You got to go to the Association of Science and stuff like that to find out what's going on with that. But anyway, they decided way back years ago in the 50s or 60s, these what do you call it? They deal with genetics, what do you call them? Geneticists, yes, thank you. So they went and they said, let's go look at this, and they started working with the animals, right? They took the DNA strand from a orangutan, and the orangutan had 3 strands. And then they said, let's go to the gorilla. So they went to the gorilla, and the gorilla had 4 strands, so he's a little smarter than the orangutan.
All right.
And then they went to the chimpanzee, right? He's an ape. Chimpanzee had 5.
Ooh.
5 strands.
Okay.
And you can see that because that's the monkey that people normally have in their house as a pet. You remember Michael Jackson with Bubbles?
Yeah.
So you couldn't do that with a orangutan or a gorilla.
Right.
But, you know, they're a little smarter. So then they said, listen, let's take our show on the road. We need to go find out about the human genetic pool. So they went and they did. And they went to, and they found out, you know, they went to Russia, they went to England, they went to Germany, they went to all over, all these white nations, Europeans, and they found out how many strands you think they had?
2. 1.
You mean the orangutan and the gorilla and the chimpanzee is smarter than them too?
Yeah, that's my vote, man.
I said about 1 or 2.
Okay, they had 6.
Oh, 6.
They had 6, so they're a little smarter than the chimpanzee.
Oh.
Only by a little. They got a little smarter than the chimpanzee.
By 1 strand.
By 1 strand. 1 DNA series.
Okay.
They don't teach you this. They won't teach you this. So of course they have to go, now we gotta go look at our Negroes.
Oh, man.
We gotta go see what these Africans got going on over there.
11.
So, they went and took the strand of the Africans. What did African have?
15.
20.
Wow, y'all going deep.
Yeah, we going deep. We going deep.
Wow.
We going hard.
All right. Okay. That's more close. He had 9.
Okay.
9. Which makes it clear to see how we survived what we survived.
Hallelujah.
Superior intellect.
Intellect. On a broad scale, we're like geniuses compared to them.
That's right.
So why we end up like this? Forsaking our God. God said, this is what you get.
Play with the monkeys.
Go ahead down there. Now you got a people that ain't even on your level as far as intelligence.
Right.
Reigning over you.
Wow.
And controlling our babies.
It's a shame.
That's a shame. But it's the truth. And the state of the so-called Negro, it has to change. But in order for it to change, it has to get as bad as it can get.
Yes, sir.
Because then you bring forth what? Change. A change is coming. But we're going to have to go through some stuff out here. And when you read this history that we're about to get into of our family, y'all, you know, you know how the youth out there saying, you know what I'm saying? I look at black people and say, man, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
You know, that's the word in the street. That's the saying, you're doing too much. And yet we are doing too much. Let me tell you something about black folks, man. All black people want to do, like Biggie said, party and BS. Party and that's what we want to do. We didn't think about nothing else. I can prove it to you. You can go to any neighborhood barbershop or any neighborhood beauty parlor, and the only thing when you look at the context of level of reading in there, you don't see no books about black history. You don't see nothing about the uplifting of the black man or the black woman. All you see is parties, flyers. All you see is flyers all over the place. A party over here, party over there, all in there, all in the barbershop. Nothing but flyers. All y'all want to do is party.
It's true.
That's all we think about is partying. No matter what we going through. When the pandemic first started, the first thing they started talking about it was out there in New Jersey. They said, nah, they were doing like the purge up in there. They said, nah, we all right over here. Yeah. We open over here. Shop is open, baby.
We outside.
We outside. That's what they say. We outside.
Oh, man.
And they was partying. Yeah. You in a pandemic. People dropping like flies all around you. And you dancing and singing. And this is how they keep you locked in. See, this is one thing they do know about us. Oh, genius black man and black woman. As long as they can keep you into that days of, this is important news for us. Jay-Z, Beyonce. Jay-Z got a new record. Beyonce doing this. Jordan got new sneakers out. You know what I'm saying? They got some designer names I can't even explain. And I looked at it was some sneakers, I don't know what they call. They cost $1,000. And I looked at them big, ugly, retarded looking sneakers and I said, only a Negro would buy that.
They look like socks.
Only a Negro would buy something. There you go. Yeah. And to me, they look so kiddish, and you have grown people walking around like that. Like, what happened? We done went all the way backwards out here, man. We done went all the way. We done lost it out here, man. We had one time, listen, this is a people like no other. But we have lost our way. We have lost our way. I don't even think we know where the mind is right now. I mean, the country is going downhill. If you don't realize that this place is over. If you don't realize now, in this day and time, that this place is over, because you can't tell black people that, because black people be like, yo, man, we need to get up out of here, bro. We need to get up out of here. Niggas be like, no matter how hard you try, you can't stop me now. Stop you from what? You killing yourself, Negro. We out here dying. They don't get it. But let's get into the scripture a little bit and see what we find here. This is the story about two brothers that become two separate people, two different nations, with the same mother and the same father. Only God could do something like that. That's right. That's rare. Two separate people. That's twins, actually. Yeah. They're twin brothers. And totally the exact opposite of each other. Right. Totally the exact opposite. And it reads.
Where we at?
25:19.
Hallelujah.
Sorry, y'all. Genesis 25, verse 19.
These are the generations of Yitzchak, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Yitzchak, and Yitzchak was 40 years old when he took Rivka, the daughter of Bethuel the Aramean, of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban, the Aramean, to be his wife.
Okay, all that information right there. See, there's no other book. The Bible verifies itself. It's the only book on the planet that don't need another book to verify it. It's the only book on the planet that needs nothing else to verify what it's saying. All that information right there. You done got a genetic history of the family in just that little verse right there. It said the Bethuel, the Aramean. Bethuel is Rebecca's what? Father, right? Mm-hmm. Rebecca's father. And he took him a wife. And it says,
and Yitzchak entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren. And Yahweh let himself be entreated of him, and Rivka his wife conceived.
Okay, he said she was barren. He said because he entreated, because remember, Isaac was raised up under the training of who? Abraham, his father. So he knew about the promise that God, the divine promise that God made, that God gave to Abraham. So he got a family, he got a wife, and all of a sudden, he know that this is going to be passed on, and ain't no babies coming. And you think that this was a, maybe, no, this took years. This was years. Some say it was about, it said, I read somewhere where it said Sarah was barren for 30 years.
Sound about right?
Something like that. 20 years. And I'm not sure about this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rebecca was barren for 19 years. That's a long time. And he decided now to call on God. Why? Because he waited on God. Because that's what the songs said. It said, be strong, good courage, wait on the Lord. So he ain't trying to intervene with God's business.
Okay, all right.
He's just waiting. But now he's getting older too. We done did this husband and wife thing. We've been doing this for some years now.
Yeah.
And we ain't got no seed.
Uh-oh.
So now Jacob is moving right, because what he do? He invoking God now.
Yes, sir.
He said he entreated God for Rebecca, his wife's sake. And as soon as he entreated him, guess what she did?
Conceived.
She conceived. So that means that these sons was born from a prayer.
That's right.
They was born from a prayer. And that should give everybody here a lesson, unlike what you said there in God's time. That whatever it is that you are in need of or look for, first thing you do is call on your Creator. That's right. Call on your Creator. You don't go and you know what I'm saying? He didn't go and run down and say, listen, because you know Abraham's still alive now.
Right.
Yo, you got any nerves? You know, that I don't know what's going on. I mean, you did tell me this, you know, and we've been patiently waiting. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no problem in that department. We all right. But I don't know what's going on. You know, I don't know. You know a doctor I might be able to go see? No, he didn't do that. He waited and he waited and he waited and he waited some more. And then he said, you know what? I'm going to call on the Lord. And she conceived, and it says,
and the children struggled together within her. Mm-hmm. And she said, if it be so, wherefore do I live?
Woo! What's she saying there? What's she saying? She said the struggle, she had a struggle going on in her body. Now, men, we don't know nothing about that part. We know, what we do know, we observe you. And we see from you, we know that we don't want no part of that.
Right.
Because sometimes you got to help her up out the chair. Sometimes she's just in so much pain. You know what I'm saying? Legs swell up. But this was a different type of pregnancy. There is a fight going on.
Strapping.
A fight going on within. These guys was already strapping before they even entered the world. It's beef. They got beef going on. And they're struggling. And she said, if I be so, why am I like this? If this is the will of God, and this is the promise, why am I going through this? This ain't even labor, y'all.
Yeah, it ain't.
This ain't even labor. So she's concerned. And check out what she does next.
And she went to inquire of Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm. And she went to do what?
Inquire of Yahuwah.
She didn't go tap on Abraham's door, because Abraham's still alive.
That's right.
Because Abraham would have said, come on, sis, let's go say some prayers.
That's right.
She didn't go do none of that. She said, it didn't look like she even went and talked to her husband.
No, sir. Straight to the top.
She said, this situation, I got to deal with it right away.
Straight to the top.
Because these nights is getting rough for me. If this is so and I got this going on, why am I suffering in the manner that I'm suffering? Because this is supposed to be something of a blessing.
Right.
Not just a blessing for her, but a blessing for the entire earth. Why am I suffering like this? I say God moves in mysterious ways. Let's read.
And Yahuwah said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Okay.
The one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Bingo. Said it right there. God gave an answer right away. Right away. He said, listen, what's going on right now is you got 2 separate people inside of you. And the one shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now, right there. That's what it is. That's right there. That right there was the events from that point on begin to unfold. Now everything begins to unfold. At least now she got some understanding. Woo! So now you got to think about it. That pain will never leave her.
Nope.
She will remember that pain and this message to the day she die.
Yep.
This is embedded.
Yep.
across her mind and her body.
Yeah, that's right.
It's embedded. No, this is something different. This ain't no average pregnancy. And it says,
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came forth ruddy, all over like a hairy mantle. And they called his name Esau. And after that came forth his brother, and his hand had hold on Esau's heel.
it said his brother came forth. First came out Esau. Esau came out and the brother hand was holding on to the hill. Like, no, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Come here. Come back here. We ain't finished with this.
Ain't over.
That's real. So the first one came out was Esau, right?
Yes, sir.
So she's looking at this. Said, man, the book said that the elder will serve the younger.
That's right.
She marked that down in the memory brain. I got it.
From God.
Yeah. You are not the one of this divine promise. You're not the one to receive that. That's all she knew from that day on.
That's it.
If she didn't know nothing else, she understood, not you. And it goes on and says,
And his name was called Yaakov. And Yitzchak was 60 years old when she bore them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Yaakov was a quiet man dwelling in tents.
okay, two different guys. This guy right here, first of all, they look totally different. They said one came out red and hairy and ruddy. You know, different looking. The other one came out smooth. And you know how black people is. Ruddy, whatnot. That's like light skin. That's light skin. You know what we call light skin people. Hey, what up, Red?
Yeah,
Some people actually even name their kids. Yeah, that's Red. Yeah. You know how many Reds I know in my life? I know so many brothers named Red, it's crazy. And they all light skinned. I ain't met one Red that ain't red.
Yeah.
I ain't met one Red that ain't red. And if he ain't red and they call him Red, you better get out his way. That's what I'm gonna tell you. If that red means something else. That red means something else. You better get up out of his way. And it says, and it said, and I'm with, let me see. It said the first, ready all over, you saw in Isaiah 3 he was 60 years old, and the boys grew. And it said he was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a quiet man dwelling in tents. So Esau was this show about type of guy. Esau was outside. Right. Esau, I'm outside. Every day I'm outside. He's active. He's out there in the mix of everything. The other guy, he ain't doing all that. He's inactive. He's inactive. He's staying around. He's going to dwell in the tent. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about it, Esau was a worldly type of guy. He was worldly, and we're going to see it. I don't want to jump ahead. But he was more of a worldly type of person. And a lot of times when you're a worldly type of person, you don't tap into that spiritual realm that we're supposed to be in according to God on a regular basis, constantly. We're supposed to be two different worlds because he said it's two different nations, two separate people. He's in the world out there. He outside. He in the world. He out there with the Canaanites and the Hittites. He's out there with all the other people showing out.
Doing his thing.
You know, and let me tell you something. Every son that has a father always wants to be like his father. Always wants to make his father proud. Always look for that moment to make his father proud. Every son that has that. That's just the nature of it. And it says,
now Yitzchak loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, and Rivka loved Yaakov.
Okay, now we got two different opinions going on. Say Jacob said, you got a man's man. That's my boy right there. That boy be going, he be tearing stuff up out there. And then he come back and bring me that venison that I love. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jacob ain't going out. Jacob might make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Some soup. Might get some soup.
Yeah, might get some soup, some matzo balls or something. But this guy right here, He doing it up big.
Yeah.
He giving me that 4-star gourmet.
Oh, man.
He putting that work in, and then you listen. Let me tell you something. That ain't no easy job to do.
Talk about it.
Hunting is a skill.
He could cook.
Bow and arrow ain't even like
And he could cook.
Yeah. You have to, and then you got to skin it,
Talk about it.
shred it, split it. You got garnish. You got work to do. And he loved it. He loved it. Jacob said, give me a couple of books, and his mother is constantly feeding him that information. Spiritually, because she got a whole different relationship with God now. You got to understand this. She went through that pregnancy, that turmoil. She went through that, and I ain't no telling how long that lasted. So she grew in a whole different kind of respect for the Creator, because the Creator actually answered and responded back to her.
There you go.
So you don't never, that's a whole different, you're a whole different person at that point. I can guarantee you that. Anybody that call on God and then they get an answer from God and hear the voice of God, you're never going to be the same.
Yeah.
You're never going to be that same person no more. That's a fact. There's no going back to that. So this is what's going on here. These two boys is carving out their destiny, so to speak. Let's go.
And Yaakov sawed pottage. And Esau came in from the field and was faint. And Esau said to Yaakov, let me swallow, I pray thee, some of this red pottage, for I am faint.
Yeah, because, that work you got to put in there. I bet he was faint.
Yeah.
All that work, because you ain't no telling how long you got to be out there. Because first you got to entrap the prey. And that takes a skill by itself. That's a level of intelligence. Yeah, high level of patience. Because you be like, I've been out here for about 5 hours.
Ain't even seen nothing.
And some of them animals just as smart as you.
Yeah.
If not smart, they said, I know where he at. He right over there. You see him? They'll be like, you see him over there? Right over there. They'll be like, don't take these animals to be silly and stupid.
So hunt takes work.
So, I bet he was hungry. Out there in the field all day. Running and whatnot, burning up all his energy and his calories. And he come by and he smell that good pot that Jacob got. You know what smell like heaven right now.
That's right. Kidney beans.
This thing smells so good right now. Listen, bro. What's up? Let me get a bowl of that right there.
Yeah.
Bless me, as we would say.
Jacob said, Jacob is a guy with a lot of insight. That's the thing about him. He has a lot of insight, and he's a very domestic type of man. You know, he cares for the animals and everything. He ain't just sitting around doing his thumbs and video games.
Right.
This guy's got work to do out there, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to make mommy and daddy proud.
That's right.
But daddy can only see Esau right now. You know what I'm saying? When Esau come with that plate of that venison right there.
That's all that matters.
And say, boy, give him a shot of that brandy that he like.
What?
Put his feet up on his couch.
Good to go.
And you say, bless that boy, Lord.
That's my boy.
That's my boy. And it says,
Therefore was his name called Edom. 31.
It was a name called Edom.
And Yaakov said,
Red lentils.
Yes.
Them lentils are something else. Anybody know about lentils? Lentils is a delicacy, man. You know somebody know how to cook lentils real good? You can eat lentils all day, man. They make, matter of fact, the vegan people make all type of burgers and everything out of lentils. That's how they make they veggie-free burgers and everything.
Yeah.
Lentils is a bad vegetable.
Oh, yeah.
That's a sweet vegetable, man. Delicious. He smelled that, and I can imagine the seasoning that, you know how black people cook, you know what I'm saying? We put that seasoning in there, add that little stuff right there, you know, and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying? And then you get that fresh baked bread to go with that right there. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Good.
Yo, here's all he's seeing right now.
That's it.
Come on.
31. And Yaakov said, sell me first your birthright.
What did you say? Sell me my birthright.
He said.
That's what he said. He said, sell me my birthright. Now, this is when things started to get a bit sticky.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of questions after this. The first thing you say, that means Jacob was keeping his eyes on the prize. Mama told him, listen, boy, that birthright belongs to you.
Focus.
That's your birthright. She told him what God told me. This is what God told me. He gonna serve you. That birthright is yours. And he took that to heart. People think that Jacob wanted that birthright because Esau is the firstborn, and you know what the Lord said, the firstborn, he gets everything. He gets most of everything. And Jacob right now, Isaac is rich.
Oh, yeah.
Isaac is rich. He got flock. He got everything. He doing well.
Very.
So he said, Jacob ain't thinking about that inheritance.
Right.
He ain't thinking about that.
No, sir.
Because his mind, like I said, he's a spiritually inclined. Esau is a worldly man. He thinks like that. Jacob said, no, this is a bigger picture. This is a bigger picture right here.
Take the cash.
This is God said to Abraham, he gave you two what? He gave you two promises, right?
Yes, sir.
He said that I'm going to make you multiply like the stars of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, I'm going to give you the land of your sojourning.
Yes, sir.
That's bigger than a couple of flocks.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You take the
Yeah. You know, Jacob looking at the real bigger picture. Esau ain't studying that, so it goes on and says.
And Esau said, behold, I'm at the point to die. And what profit shall the birthright do to me? And Yaakov said, swear to me first. And he swore unto him.
See, that ain't no light thing when people like us, the culture that we come from, swearing is not a light thing to do. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that because that can get you in serious trouble.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, everybody, I swear on my mama. What? Negro. And without even second guessing it. I swear on what is my grand? I put it on everything. My grandmother. I put it on my grandmother. What? And don't even think about it. It's not even important. And it goes on and says.
And he sold him his birthright unto Yaakov.
Okay.
And Yaakov gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. So Esau despised his birthright.
He despised it. Because you gave over your birthright for a hungry appetite. This is serious business right here. This birthright is serious. Or maybe he thought, I don't really mean nothing. But Jacob took that to be valuable. He took it to be valuable. Sometimes you got to look at life, man. It ain't always about, big. Sometimes it's the small, simple things in life. Most of the time it is, be honest with you. We think that it's something like that. It was a guy that had a donut shop, right? These three guys that had a donut shop. 3 donut shops on one block. So one guy comes out and says, man, I got to do something about this competition. Got to do something about this. So he comes out the next day, he puts a sign out, and he says, I got the best donuts in the city. So the next guy comes out the next day, see that sign and say, whoa, what's going on here? So I got to do something here. So he puts a sign out and said, I got the best donuts
in the state.
In the world.
Oh.
Got the best donuts in the world.
Whole world.
So now the third guy comes out and he said, He walks around.
Oh, man.
He got the city.
And he got the world.
He got the world.
Dang.
Anybody can come up with what he said? He said, I got the best donuts on the block.
He won.
Simple. On the block. I got the best donuts on. You all got it in the world. You got it in the city. But right here on the block, I'm holding it down. I'm holding it down on this block right here. Simple.
Chapter 26.
Let's go.
And there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Yitzchak went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And Yahweh appeared unto him and said, go not down into Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell thee
Now,
of.
here we go. Remember, this was another. This also happened in the days of Abraham. Approximately 100 years ago. This thing happened again. And Abraham had to get up out of there. Let me tell you something. Famine is nothing to play with. Famine will get you up your feet and move if you ain't never moved before. Because I got to eat. I know I don't really want to get into the whole pandemic, the whole virus thing, but I just want to share this real quick. I remember before the pandemic actually happened, if anybody knows and remember, there was a lot of movies that came out talking about this. A lot of movies. You probably seen some of them. I know I seen a few of them. And some of them was almost so precise, it's ridiculous. Yes.
Scripted.
Yes. And what we do know is that a lot of things that's happening, they put it out there in the movies for you. They throw stuff out there because that's the way they move. If anybody kind of, I don't want to get into no conspiracy thing because it's only a conspiracy until it's true. But this is what they do. So just for warning, if you see the movies that they're coming out with now, and you're paying attention, what's the next thing they're talking about? They're talking about a famine. They're talking about drought. Just a word to the wise. Word to the wise. This is what they're talking about. And let me tell you something. That famine is something very. Listen, people start climbing through your windows, man.
Get your ass shot.
People start coming right straight through your windows. Listen, make this pandemic look like Club Med. Gonna make this look like Club Med, man. You won't be walking in the street nowhere. People ain't got no food. They ain't got nothing to feed their babies. You're gonna see Monster come out. Monster Man. Monster Man gonna come out here. I'm just saying. So a famine is a serious situation. But God says to Isaac, don't go nowhere. Because he's in Canaan, he moved a little bit to Gara, right? That's over in the land of the Philistines.
Right.
So he was actually trying to make his way to Egypt.
Right.
That was his intention, to go down to Egypt. But God said, and God called him, God said, no, my boy, you stay right here.
Stick around.
Stick around right here. Because this land right here, I don't want you to move too far from, because I'm giving you all of this. Mm-hmm. Whole different scenario than from what Abraham went. And you should also take in mind that Isaac had such a, what do you call him, laughter?
Yeah.
This guy didn't have no drama. He was drama free. And when he did have a little bit, cleared up real quick as we're going to go on and read. Come on.
Verse 3. Sojourn in the land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed will I give all these lands, and I will establish the oath which I swore unto Abraham your father. And I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto your seed all these lands. And by thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. And by thy seed shall all the nations of the earth bless themselves, because that Abraham hearkened unto my voice, and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws.
So basically, this ain't warranted to you because of any of your deeds.
At all.
But this is because of Abraham. It said Abraham kept all my laws, statutes, and commandments. That means Abraham knew law.
That's right.
Abraham knew law. Abraham was the obedient servant. God said, look, get up, let's go. Abraham said, which way? Which way?
That's all.
He ain't asked nothing. Listen, man, I don't know. Can you give me a week? You know, I got some unfinished business to do. I want to spend the time with my family, and these type of things and whatnot. I got to let my boss know, I got 2 weeks, man. I got to put in that thing. My resignation got to be at least 2 weeks. I just can't get up and go, because this is what a Negro will be thinking about. Let me not do this. Give me some time. God said, no, get up and go. Obedient. Obedience is the key to serving as God. And being that we're on the subject, let's talk about obedience. What do we know about this entire Holy Scriptures book? What do we really know for a fact that we can get out of everything in this whole Holy Scripture book about God? That we can say personally that we know. What do God want?
Obedience.
Obedience, right. And?
Fear.
Okay, let me spell it out for you. God actually desires to have a personal relationship with each and every last one of us. That's what he wants. He wants a personal relationship with you. And I can prove it. You can go to the book of Job. Go to the book of Job. And I always wondered in the book of Job, why did all this happen? God took the man's family and his children and all his riches and his everything just went tumbling down. What would be the purpose of it? I know God said, yeah, I've seen my servant Job and whatnot, because me personally, and I don't want to get off track, but a little bit I might. He said, look, he killed his whole family and his wife came out, and Job said, Lord give it, Lord take it away. Blessed be his name. Excuse me? Excuse me?
That was real, though.
I lost all my family.
Same time.
All my kids. Where I'm going to find that at?
Right.
I don't even know at that point right now if I want to even have a conversation with the Creator. I'm going to keep it real. I ain't able to talk with you right now. I mean, that would be great if we had that type of spirit, but is it real? Is it real? And at the end of the day, when you find out, when you get to the end of the whole purpose of what this whole situation that happened in Job's life was about, what did Job say? Job said, I knew you, but now I see you. Job said, now I understand. Because, yeah, you know, sometimes we just do stuff just to get the blessing from God, but we don't got no connection with him. Yeah, well, you know, I'm just doing the law so I can get the things that I want. I'm going to keep the commandments because, I do want that car. I'll give you that car. I'm going to keep the commandments. I'm do everything like God said because I want to get that house. But you don't have no rapport
There you go.
with your Creator. And that was missing with Job. The rapport. That's what God wants. A relationship. Now let's get back on track.
Verse 6. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of that place asked him of his wife, and he said, she is my sister. For he feared to say, my wife, lest the men of the place should kill me for Rivkah, because she is fair to look upon.
So we already know Abraham went through the same thing. So, sometimes people think that, I've heard it before, but don't feed into that. Like when Abraham, they took Sarah and something happened. No. This was a divine promise. God ain't letting
Right, it ain't going down.
He's not letting no unworthy people come and violate his servant Abraham, who said is obedient in all things. No, it didn't happen like that. People sometimes got to take time and read in between the lines. And because look at this, same thing with us. And these people is crazy. These people say, look, I don't know. I ain't going to commit adultery, but I'll murder you, and then I'll take her. What kind of understanding is this? I'll murder you. Forget about the murder. I can do that. I just want to, get you out the way, and then so I don't commit adultery on you. It's upside down thinking. Read some.
And it came to pass when he had been there a long time that Abimelech, the king of the Philistines, looked out the window, and he saw, and behold, Yitzchak was playing with Rivkah his wife. And Abimelech called Yitzchak and said, behold, of surety she is your wife. And how did you say she is my sister? And Yitzchak said unto him, behold, I said, lest I die because of her. And Abimelech said, what is this that thou hast done unto us? One of the people might have easily lain with your wife.
Hold it right there. Hold the phone. We see a couple of things right here. This book does not try to make things fitting like it's a natural process. This man knew who God was. God just had a conversation with him.
Right.
God said, listen, I'm going to be with you like I was with Abraham. Thus and thus is the deal. The promise is going to be. He renewed the promise to Isaac. And yet Isaac said, I feared this guy.
Why?
That's natural. So, man, I'm going to have to, I tell him, listen, babe, tell him you're my sister. Tell him you're my sister because they'll kill me. Natural. That's a natural thing. He could have said, no, don't worry about it. God got us.
Right.
God always got us. But do we got wisdom? Sometimes wisdom got to come forth. Not make too much of an issue here, but then he seen him one day. He said, the way they playing around, that ain't no brother and sister type of thing.
There ain't no family.
They ain't moving like brother and sister. They brother and sister. Then that's some Jerry Springer stuff going on there. That's some brother and sister. That's Jerry Springer business there. So he came in. He said, listen. He came to him real quick. Said, look, what be the meaning of this, man? What you doing? He said, anybody could have taken us. Now she's a fox.
Right.
They all looking. They all looking and whatnot.
She's single.
And that's his sister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, they looking and whatnot, and you know what's men and whatnot. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you.
Say it.
You might not like it. You could be having Halle Berry on his arm. You can have Beyonce on his arm.
Say it again.
But a man's going to be a man. When that fox come by, okay.
Halle and B got to go.
Man, no, he just gonna look. He ain't gonna do it. He just gonna, that man gonna look. And the reason why, because listen, at the end of the day, let's be honest, there's nothing more beautiful that God created on this earth than a black woman. A black woman is the most beautiful thing in God's creation, especially in a righteous manner. When she ain't walking around looking like a dot, but she got some class to her. You know, your sisters don't know when you turn around and you got them long skirts and you got yourself together and look at that glow, that hypo glow that comes from serving God. That is something magnificent. You can't even create a line for that. You'd be like, I don't even know what to say. And that's why they say stupid stuff that don't make no sense. It's like, what? Because, you know, when I approach you, because, you know, I see them every day. Yo, Ma, hey, Ma. They talk to them like, you know, like they trash. Hey, Ma, come here, holler. Let me get that number. Give me 5 minutes. It's like, what? Then the funny part is, she see you every morning on the same damn corner.
Yeah.
When she come to work and when she going home.
You ain't did nothing.
And you talking about, can I holler? Yeah, but let's go some more.
One of the people might have easily lain with thy wife, and thou wouldst have brought guiltiness upon us. And Abimelech charged all the people, saying, he that toucheth this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. And Yitzchak sowed in that land and found in the same year 100-fold. And Yahuwah blessed him. And the man waxed.
Go ahead.
And the man waxed great, and grew more and more until he became very great.
Now this is rare. This man is actually prospering in a famine.
Yeah.
Only God can do this. It said he grew more and more. So now the Philistines look at him and they realizing something. He's not like us.
At all.
He's different. So now all of a sudden, you got a couple of different feelings, your emotions. Number one of them is envy.
A little bit.
Look at this guy here. Who the think he is? Who the hell do you think he is over here?
Immigrant.
And then the next thing is you fear. Because something is holding them down. They're going to recognize it too. He said something's hovering him. He ain't like the rest of us. His God must be God. He got a God. Because he is prospering when everybody else is struggling to put food on the table. Here he go, and he got a big spread out there. Eating in plenty is unreal, very unusual. But that's when you serve God. When we serve God like we're supposed to, God said, and I'll make your enemies at peace with you.
Say what?
I will make your enemies at peace with you. There's nothing for you to fear. When you serve this true and living God, we have to understand that we're living in a time where we have to call on God. Because David to God, listen, I see all this going on. Please hide it. Please hide me.
Right.
Hide me. Put your ever-loving arms around me and shield and guide me. Because they dropping like flies out here. These babies is killing the babies. Babies are killing each other. For nothing. They out here doing this for, I don't even know what the story is, because usually, you know, back in the 80s, 70s and whatnot, it was beef, it was gang, it was drugs, it was, you know what I'm saying, this and that. I don't even know what they just doing it for nothing.
For the internet.
They're just doing it for nothing, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, like I said, God done unleash all these spirits in the earth. Because man don't desire to serve God. So God said, I'll give you desire after your own heart. So Israel has to be in the shadow of the Almighty to be protected from all that's going around you.
Hallelujah.
Because it's so much going around you, you don't even have an idea. You got so many people running around here with mental, what you call them?
Illnesses.
Mental illnesses all around you and whatnot, and you think that they fine and they really not. And all you got to do is just catch them one day when they couldn't get that medicine.
Right. See the other side.
And then you say, who the hell is that? And it's happening all around you all day. All around you, man. You just, guy was in the elevator, he came in the building, and the girl was down there in the building, and the guy came and seen the girl, and as soon as he seen her, he grabbed her buttocks. It's like, yo, she turned around like, yo, what's your problem? What? He giving her the business. He said, you know what, don't worry about it. She went upstairs and got her man.
Yup.
A man came downstairs with the female, and they approached him. This Negro, 19 years old, pulls out a gun and shoots both of them. The female dies, and the boyfriend survives. And the shooter gets
He's
away.
in the hospital.
Gets away. They still looking for him now. They said, man, they think he's somewhere on the Ivory Coast. They got the camera, they got the video, everything. But my point is to show you the mind frame. Who would think that? And this is happening on a regular basis out here, sisters. The guys are just grabbing up. Some brother told me the other day, guy came with them things that they wrap around you, not the handcuffs, Michael. The zips. Yeah. And try to follow the girl going in the house. Yeah. And she going in there, he just, open that door, da da da. It's like, what? This is what's going on out here, y'all. They got him? 37 for rest. So that means he ain't new to this. He do this. Wow. Could you imagine the wife being violated, the daughter being violated like that? I heard a story where the guy, 19 years old, took the man's daughter and put her in sex trafficking. Yeah. She got into the sex trafficking thing. The father finds out, go confronts the boyfriend, bludgeons him to death.
That's right.
And then 60 years old. Father said, I'm good. I done lived out most of my life. I'm glad I was able to do this for my daughter.
That's right.
And I said, that's one of my heroes.
Sit in the box. That's right.
That's one of my heroes.
That's right.
That's right.
Real
Sometimes
far. Real far.
You got a John Q out here.
That's it.
Sometimes, come on now. What kind of life she would have had if there was nothing to put? That's what a father does.
That's what he do.
He's there to protect. Come on.
14. And he had possessions of flocks and possessions of herd, and a great household.
This is money, y'all. This is money right here. And a great household. Ain't say he had a nice household.
Right.
Ain't say he had a good household. Say
Great.
he had a great household. That means he flourishing. Mad because you living in a famine in the land. They trying to find wells and dig up some water. We need some water out here. Trying to find, because you got to have the water to get the plant to grow.
That's how it works.
You got to feed your flock. Hallelujah. Okay, let's read some more.
Now the Philistines envied him.
I bet they did.
And all the wells which his father's servant had dug in the days of Abraham, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said unto Yitzchak, go from us, for thou art much mightier than we.
That's that envy and jealousy is a bad motorcycle. They didn't have enough muscle up to do him nothing. Because if they did, they would have. But that's God's intervention.
There you go.
He said, we ain't going to be able to do nothing right here. I don't know if that's a good idea. But you're going to have to leave, homeboy. This is ours. This is us. This is us right here. We're going to stop up these wells. You keep it moving. So, Jacob, Isaac ain't going to argue with that.
It's your house.
It's your house. When you trust in the Lord, you don't make no big arguments about things like that. Let God handle the matter. Let God handle the matter. God, you already know the promise is here. He's already doing all right. Let's go ahead. Let's move on. And that's what he did. And it goes on and says,
And Yitzchak departed from thence and encamped in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. And Yitzchak dug again the wells of water which they had dug in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham. And he called their names after the names by which his father had called them. And Yitzchak's servants dug in the valley and found there wells of living water. And the herdmen of Gerar strove with Yitzchak's herdmen, saying, the water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they contended with him.
Yeah, because they hate that hatred. That's that hate.
And they dug another well, and they strove for that also. And he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed from thence and dug another well. And for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth, for he said, for now Yahweh hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land.
Go to show you patience is a virtue, baby. Patience is a virtue. Jacob, I mean, this dude right there, he had a nice size entourage going on with him. He could have said, nah, we ain't doing that. Nah, you already took one, I ain't doing that. No.
Right.
We ain't doing that again. What y'all want to do?
Right.
He could have did that. And would have prevailed.
That's right.
But it wasn't wisdom. He said, no, go ahead, you got that. I'm gonna keep moving, until he finally found somewhere, and it was like, listen, now we all right.
Good.
You all right, we good here.
And he went up from thence to Be'er Sheba, and And Yahweh appeared unto him in the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and I will bless thee and multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. And he built there an altar, and he called upon the name of Yahweh, and pitched his tent there. And there Yitzchak's servants dug a well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and Achuzat his friend, and Pico the captain of his host. And Yitzchak said unto them, Why are ye come unto me, seeing that you hate me and sent me away?
Yeah, because now they starting to consider. Saying, listen, I don't know, we getting a little worrisome over here. Maybe our approach wasn't the best approach towards you. So they want to make sure bygones is bygones now. You got to make sure we all right now. And let me just go back a little bit. I was just saying to myself when I was doing this, and I was saying Isaac and Rebecca, he was 40 years old, right?
Right.
He took his wife Rebecca, and then let me just go on for a minute. I think I can pick it back up later. Let's go.
And they said, We saw plainly that Yahweh was with thee.
We saw what?
We saw plainly.
Plain to see.
That's right.
Plain to see. You can't mess with me, because I'm going to be an Israelite. That's the spirit that we got to have on us. That's the spirit that our children got to come up with. It's plain to see. You can't mess with me,
That's it.
because I'm going to be an Israelite. Okay, what verse are we on, sir?
Verse 28. And they said, We saw plainly that Yahweh was with you.
They said, we seen it plainly.
That's right.
And listen, they didn't seem to be a stranger to the name of Jehovah.
Hello.
And listen, most people in the world know of Jehovah.
They know.
Except for the people that should know of Jehovah. Most of the world knows of Jehovah. There's plenty of books written on who Jehovah is.
They heard.
Plenty of history in the books of the Egyptians, in the Egyptians of the Aramean, in the Egyptians of the European.
They know.
They know who Jehovah is. And it's important for them to know, so they make sure you don't know.
Hello.
And that's the game they playing with us. That's the game that they playing with us. They actually playing with our minds, folks. And we said it's time for us to get our mind right. Because I ain't no prophet, but what we seeing here in the earth right now and how it's getting, it's not going to get any better. And you figure it's not going to get any better. How much more of this is going to be able before God? You know God is a God of judgment.
Right.
You know that's what he do. You know God can't stand to look upon sin.
Right.
Can't stand it. So you got a God of judgment that is intolerant to sin. How much? Say, how long, oh Lord, how long? What? Israel, in a way, you hold the key. You hold the key. If you would just take time and think, but you say, how can I think? Constantly always putting stuff out there. You know, as soon as the pandemic is, here comes the next thing. But now, you know, it's like, we got the babies, and now we got the adults. Now we're gonna get the babies now. And I'm just gonna say this: the virus, the vaccine wasn't made for the virus. The virus was made for the vaccine. That's what I wanted to say.
Talk about it.
It was made for the vaccine.
You see it.
And just do your research, folks.
Right.
And whatever decision that anybody make, I respect it. I don't have no issue with it. Just put a little more research into it and whatnot, because what we do know, the information we do have, is that the vaccine doesn't prevent you from transmitting COVID, and it doesn't prevent you from catching it.
And it has a patent.
So why am I taking this again?
They made it.
It don't stop me from spreading. It don't stop me from getting. What is that purpose again? Why am I doing this? I don't know. That's the question that need to be asked. Okay. Where we at?
Middle of 28. Let there now be an oath between us, even between us and thee, Let us make a covenant with thee. 28, 29. That thou wilt do us no hurt, as we have not touched thee, and as we have not done unto thee anything but good, and have sent thee away in peace.
I don't know what they seen in Isaac, but they making sure. So listen, you ain't gonna do nothing to us, right? You ain't gonna bring no harm upon us and whatnot. Isaac is a peaceful man. He's not running around jumping up and down. He ain't like, his counterpart, his brother, Ishmael. Now, that was Ishmael. Ishmael might have been doing some work out there.
Esau.
Ishmael and Esau is more counterpart. More of a like. They'll put some work in out there. Isaac ain't that type of person. He ain't setting up no signals of threatening anyone. But they seen something. And that's what you got to understand when you serve this God. People don't know. You don't even see it. But people come up to you and be like, yo, my brother, I just wanted to tell you that, I can see there's something going on, or my sister, I just want to tell you the Lord is with you.
Right, so.
They see these things. You don't see it because you're just moving and living and doing what you're supposed to. Because right now, just being here, it said it's obedient to what God's law is. This is God's Shabbat day. This is a day that God called. That's right. That he commanded that you keep holy. You don't know how far that takes you in your life. That's right. You don't know what that does for you in your life. Because a lot of people could, most of our people, they out there, they think it's they got beauty appointments, they got to go wash the car, they got to go check a movie, the mall, they got to hit that mall and whatnot, and there's so many other things and whatnot, and with give no thought to the Creator and what the Creator wants, what the Creator has. And it's by design, by your captors. Come on.
Thou art now blessed of Yahweh. And he made them a feast, and they did eat and drink. And they rose up betimes in the morning and swore one to another. And Yitzchak sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. And it came to pass the same day that Yitzchak's servants came and told him concerning the well which they have dug, and said unto him, We have found water. And he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Be'er Sheba until this day.
Until this day.
And when Esau was 40 years old, he took to wife Yehudit, the daughter of Be'eri the Hittite, and Basmat, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. And they were of bitterness of Ruach to Yitzchak and Rivkah.
Yeah, because I'm knowing that his father and his mother is looking at him and saying, what is wrong with this boy here? Now, this is a people that God has sentenced to death. This is the people that God is going to evict from breathing his air, and you're marrying into these people. But yet you expect that God is going to allow you to have the promise of the divine promise with the people that's not going to exist. They're not even going to be around in a minute. These nations are going to be wiped up out the earth. But he's not listening, and he's not being obedient to his parents. You should always be obedient to your parents when they're giving you lawful advice. And it's not like he didn't know. But he was a guy that thought, it was all about him. Abba loved me, and he did. He truly did. And he loved his father. But the mother is looking at her and saying, see what I'm saying, Jacob? Now, you don't never make that mistake. She making sure, clear. And that's why, in my mind sometimes, God didn't, let's ponder this for a minute.
Right.
When she was told that the two babies would be separate people, and that one would be stronger than the older, and the elder shall serve the younger, did she convey this information with Isaac?
I believe so.
What do y'all think?
I believe so. I believe so.
I was pondering it, and at first I was saying, no, she didn't. But then when I think about it, just me, I don't know, you have the thoughts, I'm saying she had to. She had to, because she's a godly woman, and she definitely wants Isaac to know what the deal is.
Thank you.
You got to understand what's happening right here.
Thank you.
But I could be wrong. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. I find it interesting. But let's read on.
27. And it came to pass that when Yitzchak was old and his eyes were dim so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, My son. And he said, Here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old, and I do not know the day of my death.
Hold on right there. Hold on. Isaac is about what? About 137, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and his eyes is dim. So that means divine intervention is starting to play now. Because he had every intention on giving that promise, that blessing to Esau.
Say it.
He had every intention, regardless of the fact that he was marrying these uncircumcised heathens that God didn't want nothing to do with, that you mixing in. Regardless of the fact that he sold his birthright to his brother, which means he despised it.
Right.
And yet Isaac still looking to bless him with this tremendous blessing. Not only for that world that they living in now, but for the world to come.
Hello.
This was not just for that time. This is for the world to come. Even this day and time. So he's still going with, so God said, divine intervention. Bam! His eyesight ain't no good too much no more. Now you got to think about it. He's saying, I feel near to death. My eyesight, he's a little despondent. But if you know he's 137, Isaac actually lived another 40-something years
Yes, sir.
after this. So he was not on his way out of here.
At all.
But for some reason, because remember, his brother Ishmael died at 137. So sometime he might start thinking about death too. Like, Ishmael done left up out of here. Maybe I need to start thinking. And you know how we get, start thinking about the days to come. And he's a little despondent and he's going through something right now. Because he's an ordinary man. Said, man, I better start thinking about this. And Isaac, here come Esau. He said, Father said, listen, man, go get me that venison, man. And he's right there. Esau right there, ready for it. Ready to obey his father.
Yep.
And it goes on and says,
Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go to the field, and take me venison, and make me savory food such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat it, that my soul may bless you before I die. And Rivkah heard when Yitzchak spoke unto Esau his son.
okay, right there. It said, she heard.
Hello.
No, she was eardropping.
Yes, sir.
She was at the door like this.
Waiting.
Because she know, remember, that pain and that agony, and that word that came from God, she's always on the lookout for this moment. This is the moment I feared.
40 years.
She did Slick Rick. This is the moment I feared. She was sitting at the door like this. I told that man already. I done told him already.
Told you that an hour ago.
But he obviously, I don't know, I can't say. I don't know if he just thought regardless, boom, or I don't know. So she goes and put her plan into action.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes on.
And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rivkah spoke unto Yaakov his son, saying, Behold, I heard your father speak unto Esau your brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory food, that I may eat and bless thee before Yahweh, before my death. Now therefore, my son, hearken unto my voice, according to that which I command thee, do. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory food for your father, such as he loved.
Okay, we know venison is what? Deer, right?
Yes, sir.
But she said, give me 2 goats.
She got this.
She got this, right?
She got this.
That's going to show you that the beauty of black folks, black women, they can cook. Ain't nobody cook like we do. I don't care what you say, what part of the world you come from. Nobody puts it down like we do. So she said, no, don't worry about that. Just go and get me this, because this is the time that we've been waiting for right here. And this man eyes, and there's something about that that occurs a lot sometime in that part of the region in Palestine. A lot of people come, that blindness thing going on and whatnot. I don't know what it is, but yeah, Jacob, but this is divine intervention by God.
Yes, sir.
Because, he's about to, because God knows if that blessing goes on Esau, he shall be blessed.
It's true.
He shall be blessed. There ain't no taking that back or flipping around. Once that goes out, that's what it is. That's it. So she's seriously dedicated. She's like, Now watch Jacob respond. Jacob said what?
And thou shalt bring it to my, and I, speak out 10. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, so that he may bless thee before his death. Yaakov said to Rivkah his mother, Behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man.
Mm-hmm.
My father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as one that mocks, and I will bring a curse upon me and not a blessing.
Yeah, he said it's gonna turn into a curse right now. He said, Ema, come on now, you know that boy Harry, man. That boy Harry, he ain't gonna know come up on him in one night. He gonna know it's me.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking about it like that, and he should, because he's concerned now. Because he's scared, of course. This man is he's an obedient son. He's obedient to his father. Ema, you want me to commit forgery here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna commit forgery with my father. He's gonna despise me. What did Ema say?
And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son.
Woo.
Only hearken to my voice and go fetch them.
Okay, now here's the point right here. You got to ask yourself. All this is coming into play now.
Mm-hmm.
God told her the elder will serve the younger. The blessing is going to be upon him. So, did she really have to go and do this?
No.
Because if she didn't, was it still not going to go forth in the manner that God said?
Took matters in her own hands,
Took matters in your own hand.
like Sarah.
God said this is what it is.
That's it. Trust it.
No matter what.
Trust it.
Even Isaac, thinking that he's going to give this blessing to Esau. But God said, listen, matter, you took matters and you taking matters in your own hands here.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High said the word of God do not hit the ground.
No, sir.
Once God said it, that's the way it is. And it will be fulfilled.
That's it.
So here go human in God's plan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's work this like this.
Mind your business.
Let's go work this like this. I'm going to work this down and do that. And we do that. But this is why I love this book. Because it's real. It's real, man. Because maybe a lot of us might have thought the same way. She's sitting around and she'll tell him, go get that venison. She's like, Jacob, whoa, bang, whoa. Get the field, go do this. And come on, let's read some more.
14.
Mm-hmm.
And he went and he fetched them and brought them to his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother made savory food such as his father loved. And Rivkah took the choicest garments of Esau, her elder son, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Yaakov, her younger son. And she put the skin of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory food and the bread, which she prepared, into the hand of her son Yaakov.
Seemed like she had this thing all figured out. Because who would have thunk that? What you mean you hairy? He's hairy. Don't worry about that. Give me that go here.
That's right.
Give me that go here over there.
It's all part of the plan.
She had that planned out.
40 years.
She had that thing all planned. She had that thing all together. It was sold together real good.
Real nice.
Get that go here. Get that go here. Mm-hmm. Put that thing right there. Put it on your arm. Go ahead right there.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna see too much anyway.
Verse
I'm
18.
just saying. I mean, she going with it full throttle. This is full throttle business going on here. Come on.
And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who are you, my son? And Yaakov said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. And I have done according as thou hast badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thou so mayst bless me.
Now Jacob, Isaac, know what he's about to do right now.
Oh, he knows.
This right here, you can't reverse. Once he do this, there's no turning back. There's no plan B. This is what it is.
That's it.
So he's being extra cautious. And he has reason to be.
Yes.
Why? Because he don't have no eyesight. Anybody could have walked in there at some point.
Servant.
Servant. Yeah, I want a piece of that pie. Let me see what I can do. So he's being cautious.
That's all.
And he need to be. Come on.
And Yitzchak said unto his son, How is it that you found it so quickly, my son?
Yeah, because I know the routine, man. I know the routine. I know that we just talked about this.
Right.
Sometimes it takes some time. You're going to be out there at least 2 hours. He said, you know what I'm saying? He ain't going out there for a big thing. It's just enough to give me a little calf real quick.
Right.
Give me a little calf. But you still got to plan. You still got to ensnare. It takes time. And you might not get it on the first hit.
Hello.
But let me show you how swift the Jacob is with the response. Because a lot of people would have got stuck right there.
Right there.
But it froze right there, especially if you're already scared. You got the Ralph Cranner. What did the Ralph Cranner? Who? Jacob, get up out of here.
Yep.
Come on.
And he said, because Jehovah thy God sent me good speed.
Oh, wee. Now, I don't know. I don't know. That right there.
Work every time.
He said, "Oh, done sent me good speed." Now you done put your whole involved with this situation.
Oh man.
You done put your whole involved in this plan. You say, "Yo, done gave me good speed."
Lord
Boy, look.
bless.
See, that's why it don't pay.
Yeah.
It don't pay. Honesty, they always say, is what?
Best policy.
Sometimes, because you got to go back and got to remember some of them things. And,
Man.
and now you got to make a lie on top of a lie, and then you got to make a lie on top of that lie, and it gets. And next thing you know, you.
Better write it down.
And what did you say? What did you tell me before?
I forgot.
I don't recall. You be having one of them moments. I don't recall. Yeah, so you know, less is better. But now he done. I don't know. He done said, "Listen, yo, done gave me great speed."
Great speed. Oh man.
Bro, you went right over here in the field right there.
Went to the yard.
You went to the yard. Right in the yard right there. That's some speed. That ain't no speed. That's just a walk. That's just a walk. You ain't even have to speed walk.
21. And Yitzchak said unto Yaakov, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Yaakov went near unto Yitzchak his father, and he felt him. And he said, the voice is the voice of Yaakov, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother's Esau hands, so he blessed him.
He said the voice is that of Jacob, but the hands, she must have had that damn Hollywood makeup kit going on and whatnot.
She was ready.
You know what I'm saying? She had that thing ready, you know what I'm saying? Like she had that thing put together.
Yeah.
Like that Thriller video. She had that whole kit put together. Had that thing sitting right there in the closet somewhere.
They too young for that.
I don't know. One thing I noticed about Michael Jackson, you know, just a footnote, little babies that don't even know who this guy was know who Michael Jackson is.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I never seen an artist like that before.
Right.
Usually most artists, people don't, who is that, who is that? Little babies that's just born know how to sing Beat It and Thriller. It's like, how you know that? What did you, I don't know. But we Israelites, right?
That's it.
We Israelites. And know how to do the dance.
Yeah.
Got the dance and everything. Like, I seen a little baby who was sitting in the back car 3 years old. It's like, why did you know that? The whole song. Okay, that's just a footnote.
24. And he said, art thou my very son Esau?
Art thou my very son Asaph? This is your father talking to you now. This your father. I feel for Jacob a little bit because he's caught between two different situations here. On one hand, he got Ema telling me this is what you got to do. Because this is what God said, and this is what has to be done, and da-da-da, and you are the seed which you are. And then you got your father over here, who you love,
Right.
that now you are actually lying to.
In the name of
And in the name of God.
Ooh.
And being very dishonest and fraudulent. Am I right to say that?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Proper terms.
I don't mean it in no
Disrespectful
manner, but it is what it is, right? That's
Right,
what he is, right?
right.
He is being dishonest, right?
Right. We lying.
He lying, straight
lying.
lying, right?
Him and mama.
And then he didn't mention God's name in the matter.
Absolutely.
He did, right?
That's what he did.
Okay, all right. So
Talk on it, that's right.
we are people. Nobody said that we was perfect.
Perfect, right.
We're not perfect,
Talk about
but we're God's chosen people.
Yes, sir.
And our purpose is to get to that level of perfection with the Creator. And that was the whole purpose of us being as a nation.
Right.
That we would become like God-like beings. This is why the world hates us. Because we ain't did nothing to nobody. He said the nations contrived together. Conspired together. All the nations.
All of them.
All of them conspired because for this blessing that we're reading about right now. This particular blessing that no other people, listen, no other people can take claim to this. I don't care if you want to walk around with them little curls and put them black suits on and the whole kit and caboodle. You are not the people. You are not the people, and you're making me laugh because you kind of playing God. Because like God don't know who his people is.
Right.
How is God that don't know who his people is? Like for real?
Word.
What you doing here? That's going to show you their mind is gone. But I can tell you straight up and down, America don't care nothing about God.
No.
America have no care. America is a witchcraft, sorcery.
Right.
All them things that God told us to stay away from. That's what this country is embedded on. That's all they embedded on. And sorcery and witchcraft and everything like that. This is what they do. This is their thing. They don't have no, their God is whatever they want it to be. Today it could be money. Tomorrow it could be something else. Right. They got a God for everything out here in America. It ain't no different in Babylon.
Not at
it ain't
all.
no different in Egypt. It's the same damn thing.
Same thing.
Talk about it. That's right.
This is the same thing.
Arrogance, sorcery.
And God, and her days are numbered. Because God is going to visit her. Just like he visited these Philistines and these Canaanites that God is talking about. They're no different. These people actually follow in them practices. If you go look at Washington and you go down there, you see that the whole place in Washington is built on the structure of Egypt.
It is.
This is Egypt again.
It is.
That's all this is. And it goes on and says,
Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near unto him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Yitzchak said unto him, Come near now, my son, and kiss me. And he came near, and he kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and he blessed him. And he said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Woo. So God give thee the dew of heaven, the fat places of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine.
I can tell you right now, Rebecca's plan was in effect, full charge, boy. That plan was in effect. He got it over every hurdle. No problem. Worked it perfectly. He said, that's my boy there. Smell like outside.
All outdoors.
My boy, all outdoors out there, right? Said, and listen, and obviously Jacob loved his nice plate of food.
Yes.
Because, he said, even said, I cooked that savory stuff that he loved to eat.
Right.
He loved that, you know what I'm saying? Get that plate and get that nice little drink. He got him a little drink of wine.
Go cook it.
And now he done put his feet back, and now he ready to announce the blessing. And it goes on and it says,
Let people serve thee.
Let people
and
serve
nations
thee.
bow down unto
And
thee.
nations bow down to
Be
thee.
Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
That's right. This is why the world hates you, Negro. Because this is what they can't see themselves. They can't see themselves bowing down
Not to you.
to us. Listen, it's gonna shock them for them to even know and realize who God's people is. Because more than it's gonna shock us. Because we can't believe it. Like who? We what?
What?
We what? What would come from? I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? These niggas will be happy from day to day going with their little Christian Sunday worshiping God.
Yeah.
For the rest of their life, to death do them part.
Yeah.
And won't ever give it a second thought. Something is wrong here.
Yeah.
They don't even go and try to, how you read
Right.
and study. I want to learn all I can learn about my God.
Right.
They don't even do that.
It's all faith.
They just go by word of mouth. They say word of faith. There was a guy in Jamaica. I don't know if you guys heard about this. A pastor. I think his name was Kevin Smith.
Oh, come on.
This guy was out there, man. He was making taking in $1 million a week or something like that. One day, I'm telling you this thing, that church thing, I'm telling you, it's a demonic situation. That's all I can tell you. That church thing is demonic. It got a lot to do with demonic stuff going on. It ain't holy.
No.
It ain't holy because a lot of stuff going on there. You running around and you speaking in tongues and whatnot. That remind me of Mount Carmel.
Right.
With Elijah. And people turning around and
talk about
cutting and starving and
Talk
blood
about
and they dance all in there. I tell you, talking about some red bottoms.
Right.
Them red bottoms was real out there. I must have been when red bottoms came. All that blood they was splashing in.
Yep.
out there cutting and carving up themselves. Well, anyway, the preacher down there did the same thing. He took some of his, what you call it, pictures, and had the people in the church cut the throats of the other people in the church.
He in jail?
Yeah, they got, no, listen what happened. The dude, he's a big-time preacher all over the world. Jamaica, I think his name Kevin Smith and whatnot. I think they finally picked him up. He was making money. He was crazy. And then, anyway, the dude turned around, and I think he killed himself. He killed himself, and they said, this is what I heard, that the person that was there when he killed himself, I ain't saying this. This is what the person said. They said it was something that seemed to, after he died, something type of came up out of his body. Something released from out of him that was crazy. But that's what happened, you know. You think that people who would get in a congregation where, when you follow people. The cult, yeah.
Most High told us to stay away from those.
Father said, exactly. See, at least we got a history. I've never seen anybody at all. Biggest preachers you never see. What's his name? The squinty-eyed guy. Creflo one. TJ. The other guy that always squinting. The white guy.
Osteen. That's my man.
And his guys and whatnot. You never see them go into the book. They don't. They never go into the book.
Pre-prepared sermons.
Pre-prepared. That's all about them Benjamins, baby. Right. And listen, them places be massive.
Jam-packed.
Massive, jam-packed. And they're never going to expose this truth because that is a gimmick and they like that lifestyle. And I'm going to tell you what they do with us as black people. They put people like that we look to and, Jay-Z, man, wow. He came from the hood, man, out there in Marcy Project. Now he's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? So they put these type of people, and you look at these type of people, then, Michael Jordan, and you think about them, and they put these people out there for us to gaze upon and look up to and worship and idolize. And then that's how they get their money. Mm-hmm. Because they're doing what? They're leading God's people what? Astray. That's their whole purpose. Oprah Winfrey, to lead us astray. This is what we're getting out here. Because from what I understand, a man of God because he come what? Correct. In the name of God.
Right.
A man of God comes in the name of God. And that's what I look at. So my point of that is, guys, listen, don't sit down and idolize these people. Mm-hmm. Because they are like Esau.
Right.
They are earthly people.
Right.
Their thing is of the earth, the things of the earth. They pay no mind to the spiritual aspect, which is what we basically are. They pay no mind to that part of it, the spiritual aspect, which is the people that we were supposed to be. That was the difference between Jacob and Esau. Jacob paid attention to the spiritual aspect. Esau paid attention to the worldly aspect. And it goes on and says,
Blessed be everyone that blesseth thee. Sleeka. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be everyone that blesseth thee.
You heard this? Blessed be everyone that blesseth thee, and cursed be everyone that curses thee. This is one doozy of a blessing right here. And you would think Esau threw this away for a pot of beans? A pot of beans. He despised it. He had nothing. Cared nothing about that. Right. He cared nothing for it. Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass as soon as Yitzchak had made an end of blessing Yaakov, that Yaakov was scarce gone out from the presence of Yitzchak his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting, and he also made savory food and brought it unto his father. And he said to his father, Let my father arise and eat his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Yitzchak his father said unto him, Who are you? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn, Esau. And Yitzchak trembled very exceedingly and said, Who is it then that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten it all before you came. And I blessed him, and yea, he shall be blessed.
And Jacob is long gone. They said Jacob been gone.
Got to go.
He's been gone. Back door gone. Perfect time. He said, Who are you, man? Jacob started trembling because now he done said, oh my God, what did I do? But this was God's plan from the beginning. You had no reason. This was God's plan. It wasn't your plan. And it goes on and says,
When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceeding great and bitter cry,
Yeah.
and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, my father.
I don't understand what the crying is for right now. You cared nothing for this. So now all of a sudden, it done hit you? Oh my God.
No, he lost it.
But it didn't hit him. It didn't hit him fully yet. Because now you already turned around again. Remember, this guy's marrying people that his mother and father is looking at him with disdain. Right. They're looking at him like,
dummy.
even the father and Jacob and Isaac loved him.
Yeah.
But Isaac is like, and Rebecca constantly putting in Isaac's ear. You know that boy. You know that boy. You know what's that movie? You know you done messed up now.
Menace to society.
Yeah, Menace to Society. You know you done messed up now. That's it. that's Raquel, because you know Rebecca, she's like, because now she done seen all this stuff come from it. She's looking over Jacob like this, like looking over Isaac like this, like.
Told you.
Well, the deed is done, so ain't nothing you can do about it. But let's read on a little bit.
And he said, Your brother came with God and have taken away your blessing. And he said, Isn't he rightly named Yaakov? He supplanted me 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou reserved not a blessing for me?
He said, hold on. Is there something there that I can get right now? Yeah, something got to he said, now he's thinking about it. He said, no, bro, you sold that birthright. He didn't supplant you. You did that to yourself. That's right. You said, I want the things. He said, show me the birthright. You could have said no, like there's nothing inside in the fridge.
Right, we ain't got no servants.
He could have went inside in the fridge and said, yeah, I'm going to get this sandwich right here. No, he wanted that. He said, what is this to me? What is it to me and I'm hungry to death? What you talking about? You played it lightly. And let that be, this ain't something that we play lightly. This lifestyle that we live, this law that we keep, is not to be played lightly. Not to be played lightly. Come on.
And Yitzchak answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him your master, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. With corn and wine have I sustained him.
That'll put a bum on your day.
Yeah.
You did what? I made him your master.
What then shall I do for thee, my son?
She said, I got nothing left. He took everything.
Yeah.
He took everything, son. And it says,
And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father?
now he's pleading. Now he's, I guess Isaac is a little embarrassed right now. It's like, man, get up, son, get up. Get up off your knees, boy. Have you not got but one, my dad? Come on, you gotta have something. Give me something.
Not for you.
And it goes on.
Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Yitzchak his father answered and said unto him, Behold, of the fat places of the earth shall be thy dwelling. Of the dew from heaven above, by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt break loose, that thou shalt shake his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Yaakov because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, Let the days of mourning for my father be at hand, then I will kill Yaakov, my brother.
He said he's going to kill his own brother. He said he swore. He said, listen. And the funny thing about this, when you really look at this whole situation, Esau and Jacob, this blessing, right? By far, Esau was doing much better than Jacob. When he came, when he left Laban's house, said Esau came out there with 400 soldiers.
Right.
And it's flocking, even though Jacob was getting up, but Esau's stuff was plenteous. He wasn't slacking at all.
At all.
Esau was by far a lot more well off than what Jacob was at the time. But it wasn't about the materialistic things. This is what you got to understand. He gave up something that wasn't about materialistic. Like a lot of times you think it's all about the material, but it was about that blessing, that obedience, and that covenant that God was going to make with his children. And that is more important than money can't buy that. That's what you call priceless. Money can't buy that. Because that right there will sustain you and has sustained us to this day while we still on this planet. On this in this world as a nation of people, that we still here because of this blessing. And he made it clear. He said, well, Abraham, I'm passing this over to Abraham. And it goes on.
In the word of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rivkah.
What verse are you at?
Verse 42. And she sent and called Yaakov her younger son and said unto him, Behold, your brother Esau is touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill you. Now therefore, my son, hearken to my voice, and arise and flee to Laban my brother to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away, until your brother's anger turn away from you, and he forget that which you have done unto him.
Right, because he didn't go and tell that to his mother and father. You know I'm going to kill that boy. He didn't do that. But you know, people heard. The servants heard. They said, yeah, you better do something, Rebecca. Because he said she heard. She heard that he was talking about doing this and that. She said, I can get my boy up out of here. He said, no, I'm going to send you up out of here. And watch this.
Then I will send and fetch you from thence. Why should I be bereaved of you both in one day? And Rivkah said to Yitzchak, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Chet. If Yaakov take a wife of the daughters of Chet, such as these, the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me?
You see, one thing about Rivkah, she was on her game. She said, she said, my boy take one of these tots here. You gonna marry into these tots? These people is something else. Listen, these people are blood drinking, idol worshiping,
Kid sacrificing.
They doing some of the most horrific atrocities, and ain't nothing no man can do to change that. You could think there now. Well, I'll change it. I'll convert it. Oh no, there'll be none of that. These people they cup running over.
Yeah.
In their atrocities to God. No, said, what life would mine be? What would my life? She always putting her life in that situation.
Yeah.
She said, what is my life? She's talking again. She's serious about it. She is on her game here.
Yep.
I said, no, we gotta get this boy over there and send him to my father's house.
Yep.
Let him take a wife from over there because he wanted to keep that bloodline pure. That bloodline is pure. You didn't want to contaminate it with these filthy heathens, these filthy Gentiles. Keep this bloodline pure. Come on.
28. And Yitzchak called Yaakov and blessed him, and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife out of the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Padan Aram to the house of Bethuel thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban thy mother's brother. And El Shaddai bless thee, and make thee fruitful and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a congregation of peoples, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land of thy sojournings, which God gave unto Abraham.
There you go right there. He gave him the two promises that God promised Abraham. He said that you would inherit, you would become as a stand of the sea and as stars for multitude, and he would give you this land. And notice, miraculously, Isaac cheerfully.
Hello.
He ain't even kind of like,
say it.
You know you done messed up, boy.
Right.
You done turned around, you done fraud me, you done lied to me, this and that. All that's going. He's on page right now. Isaac's on page. He said he blessed him. He said, yeah, come here, son, because now he's the heir.
Yep.
He's the heir to the dynasty. Well, no matter what happened, Isaac can see the picture now.
Yeah.
He said, this is the true heir. He said, come here, let me bless you. Now, meanwhile, Esau's on the side seeing this and saying, Now he's starting to feel it.
Just told me he had nothing for him.
Now he's starting to feel it. If he didn't feel it before, he feel it now because he see mom and daddy paying attention. Mom and daddy looking over here.
Both of them. Yeah.
Both of them. Together.
Damn.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Exactly. Damn. Don't. He's saying he's feeling it now. Yeah, he did the Bob Simpson on him.
Oh, man.
But watch it. But he gonna try to think he gonna make it better, and then he gonna make it worse. Watch it. That's usually how life goes. You know what I'm saying? It's too late. It's called a little too late.
A little too late.
Come on.
And Yitzchak sent away Yaakov, and he went to Padan Aram to Laban, the son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Rivkah, and Yaakov, and Esau's mother. Now Esau saw Yitzchak and Yaakov. Now Esau saw that Yitzchak had blessed Yaakov and sent him away to Padan Aram to take him a wife from thence, and that he blessed him and gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And that Yaakov hearkened to his father and to his mother, and was gone to Padan Aram. And Esau saw that the
It said he did what?
And he hearkened to his father. And
Obedient.
Yes.
That's the key right there. He hearkened to his father and his mother. They said, listen, son, you got to go. And I'm going to send you. Now I'm going to send you from where? He's sending you from Padan Aram. You already in Beersheba, right? And you got to go down to Paran. What is that? That's I read somewhere. That's like almost like 480 miles from where they at. That's a 480-mile trip. That's similar to the coming from New York and to Canada, or New York to North Carolina, or New York to Virginia. So this ain't no small feat there. Yeah. This is a big situation. But the father showing them mad love. He don't feel like he's being sent away because he's punishing him because of what he did. That's not what it is. He showed him with love. He said, listen, you got to get up out of here. Yep. And that's a hell of a trip. Come on.
And Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Yitzchak his father.
Now you see that it pleased not your mother and father. So watch what he does. See, this obedience is always better. Because now watch what he's going to do. Make things worse. Go ahead, man.
So Esau went to Ishmael and took unto the wives that he had Machalat, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife.
He went to Ishmael. So now you figure, okay, you've married the daughters of Canaan, which was totally out of sync, out of box. Because they was not going to take part in this blessing.
Right.
They was not going to be in any way connected to this blessing. And now you go and you marry the son of a daughter of Ishmael, who in Abraham's day, God told Abraham, send him away. Send him away. Which means that Israel must dwell alone. We are not to be at all entangled in the nations round about us. And that's what keeps hurting us, because we keep entangling ourselves with people who mean you no good. They don't mean you no good. They never meant you no good, and they will never mean you no good. Only thing we have to do is serve Jehovah, and everything falls in place for us in sincerity and being obedient to the word of the Most High God. And Israel will be fine. And I'm going to step down before I go. I usually like to close out with a story or something. So I got two. I don't know which one to give and whatnot.
Take both, man. You take them both.
All right. This guy, father comes home. Father has he ran into this robot. This robot that if you lie, the robot will slap you. Oh. So they was having dinner one night, and the father decides to try it out while they're having dinner. So he looks at his son and he says to his son, hey man, how was school today? He said, oh man, he said, yo dad, school was fine. The robot, pow, slaps him.
Oh man.
So then the son says, well actually dad, I didn't really go to school. I stayed at a friend's house and we was watching Panda, what's that Panda thing?
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. Robot, bow, slaps him again. He says, all right, we was watching erotic movies. Father said, erotic movies? He said, where did you get that from? He said, my times, we didn't know nothing about that. Bow! The robot slaps him.
Right, that's where you got it from.
The mother starts laughing. Ha, 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 just like y'all did. And she says to him, that's your son. Bow! The robot slaps him.
Oh!
Yo! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that anytime we upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you.